Look into my eyes and show me adventures I haven't seen. Taking all the life, it hits the spot. Walking on fantasy. So take me, baby, take me to a state of mind.
What's up, guys? I'm Kevin Nahai. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is 2019. I am here to light a fire inside of you, but I can only do it if you believe in yourselves. I believe in you so much, but I need you to believe in yourselves. This is the first video that I'm filming in 2019, so I just wanted to come out with that little bit of excitement. Okay, today's video is all about nagging, naysaying, doubtful parents. This video goes out to mostly the children of immigrants. I don't know why this is, but generally I find that immigrants tend to nag at and naysay and micromanage their children a little bit more than American parents do. I grew up in the Persian Jewish community, and I can say with certainty that probably 90% of young Persian Jews here in Los Angeles have parents who have been on their ass micromanaging them since day one about career, about money, about love life, about where we live, about what we do, how we choose to spend our time. And look, I mean, the thing is, our parents love us, but our parents sometimes love us a little bit too much. Sometimes our parents are so anxious about how we are going to turn out. They're so nervous about us making the right choices in life that their attempt to manage their anxiety comes across as micromanaging us. Their attempt to make themselves feel better, their attempt to make themselves feel calmer, comes across as they're being militant and rigid and setting rules and telling us what to do all the time. And of course, that can become really, really toxic because you love your parents, you want to have a good relationship with your parents, but how can you do that if you have this white noise, unsolicited advice going in your ears all day long from people that you love, from people that you respect? Yes, but when they're sowing seeds of doubt in you, when they're making you feel like you're going to be single for the rest of your life, or you're going to be poor for the rest of your life, or your job isn't good enough, or you should be a doctor or a lawyer or engineer, you should marry this person, you should date the son or daughter of that person. When you're hearing that and you're taking that in all the time, of course, first of all, you're suffocating in anxiety. But secondly, if you let that seep in, you start to doubt yourself. When you start to doubt yourself, two things happen. One is your productivity goes in the tank. Everything that you are trying to accomplish and be good at, all that you are trying to make of yourself, all of the meaning that you are trying to create in your lives, it just tanks because now you've let somebody else's anxiety and doubt go into your head. And the second thing that happens, which is even more pernicious, is that you lose clarity on what you actually want. If somebody else, somebody very close to you in your life, is constantly telling you what you should want or what you should care about, they're constantly giving you their opinions about what you should do, it becomes very, very difficult to get in touch with your own intuition and listen to your own inner voice, and as I say, believe yourself completely. You can only believe yourself completely if you're extraordinarily clear about what your gut is telling you. And when you're spending time taking the advice and the wisdom of your parents without knowing what the end result of listening to them is going to be, without knowing the potential ramifications of adhering to their advice, it's a dangerous game. So, we can talk about that till we're blue in the face, but what is the solution? 4 steps. I won't say that they're simple steps because they're not. They take a lot of work, but 4 things to try. The first thing to try is you have to be willing and able to set a strong boundary. Now, I know a lot of people that when I tell them to set a boundary, they say, oh, you don't understand. I've been trying to set boundaries for 25 years and they never listen. Look, that's true. Even in my own life, I've tried to set certain boundaries with my parents. I've tried to tell them respectfully and politely that there are certain subjects that I'm not willing to discuss with them, and they don't listen, right? So if you try to set the boundary and it doesn't work, then we got to move on to the other steps. But first, you never know until you try. So I suggest politely telling your parents, Mom, Dad, I don't feel comfortable discussing X, Y, or Z thing with you. It's something that I'm sensitive about, and it bothers me when you tell me what to do about my dating life, or who to go out with, or what job I should take, or how much money I make. Whatever it is that really bothers you, you start by telling them politely and calmly, I will no longer tolerate discussions on that particular subject. Step 2 is actually take a second, remove your ego, and see if anything that they are saying makes logical sense. Sometimes our parents are so on our ass that the way that I was, we're just like, okay, I'm not gonna listen to an iota of what you're saying no matter what. But sometimes there is some conventional wisdom. So try a little bit to open up your mind and see if anything that they have to say actually has some bearing in reality, you know? I never, ever, ever used to listen to my mom about dating advice and women because I didn't want to discuss it with her. It made me very uncomfortable to discuss it with her. As I've gotten older, I've realized that she does have a little bit of conventional wisdom, and she does know what she's talking about some of the time in certain arenas, and I can take what I like that she has to say and I can leave the rest. I can entertain what she's saying without necessarily accepting it. So that's something you might want to try because it might make it easier for you than feeling like you're constantly fighting against what your parents are telling you. Step 3 is if what they are saying makes absolutely no sense, if what they are saying actually has no bearing in reality, and if you are certain that what they are saying is not in your best interest, then do not listen. This is not a contradiction of the previous point. The previous point was, if something that they say makes sense, remove your ego, entertain what they're saying, and ask yourself if you want to accept it as true. This step is, if what they are saying is complete bullshit, if it's just white noise vitriol, do not listen. When they are talking, I want you to practice something, which is daydream while they are talking. They're snapping at you, they're telling you what to do with your life, and you're just daydreaming about going to Disneyland. You're daydreaming about your career. You're daydreaming about having the most amazing relationship on earth. You're daydreaming about that awesome vacation you're about to take. Whatever they are doing, whatever they are saying, in that moment, you are not listening. You are literally in your mind in a different place. You are associating with something completely different from what they are saying. And what they have to say, give it no bearing. Let it go in one ear and right out the other. And when they're done talking, you say, okay, Mom, okay, Dad, thank you. I heard you, even though you didn't. And you just move on. Step 4, this is the most important one. This is also the hardest one, so pay close attention. Learn to love your parents from a distance. Learn to have compassion for your parents from a distance. This can be a physical distance, as in moving out if you're living with them, or moving to a different part of town if you're like right up the street from them. Or it can be an emotional distance, as in not allowing what they have to say have so much power in your life, not resting your identity in their opinions. Put a little bit of distance between yourself and them. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean you don't want to have a relationship with them. It just means that if they're not going to respect your boundaries, you are perfectly entitled to create a little bit of distance, a little bit of a bridge, a little bit of a chasm between where you stand, what you believe in, and where they stand and what they believe is right for you. Please like and comment and subscribe. Let me know if you want to talk about your issues with your parents. I'll be here. Follow me on Instagram. Hit the subscribe button to the YouTube channel. See you guys soon.